All right, welcome to day 7. Yesterday, we did the hard work of finding the real core of a problem, that contradiction that's keeping everything stuck. So today, we're going to learn how to shatter it.
So, you've made a decision. You've stopped negotiating with the problem. You're not going to accept those trade-offs anymore. But that leaves a pretty big question hanging in the air, right? If you're not compromising, where on earth do the new ideas come from?
Well, to answer that, we've got to take on a really common myth. You know the idea that creativity is just this random lightning strike of genius? The TRIZ perspective is, well, it's the complete opposite. It says that innovation isn't random at all. It actually follows predictable, repeatable patterns. Breakthroughs aren't about inventing something from thin air. They're about being clever and reapplying solutions that are already out there, just in a different field.
And look, this isn't some feel-good idea from a brainstorming session. This comes from hardcore research. We're talking about Genrich Altschuler, the guy who started all this, digging through literally thousands and thousands of patents. And what he found was incredible. He saw that the same basic problems, the same contradictions, popped up over and over again. And even better, the solutions to those problems also followed universal patterns. The core idea here, the big takeaway, is this. Someone, somewhere, has already solved a problem just like yours.
And that discovery is what led to the 40 inventive principles. Now, what are they? They're basically a toolkit of 40 universal strategies for smashing contradictions. But, and this is absolutely critical, they are not a checklist of answers. A much better way to think about them is like 40 different pairs of glasses. Each one is a unique thinking lens that completely changes how you see your problem, forcing you into a new perspective you wouldn't have found on your own.
So, that brings us to the whole point of today's exercise. Your goal is not to find the perfect final answer. Forget about that for now. Today is all about practice. It's about training your brain to fundamentally change how you look at the problem. Once you get that down, trust me, the great solutions will start to show up.
Okay, so how do you know if you're actually doing this right? Well, there's a big enemy we're all fighting here, and it's called psychological inertia. It's just our brain's lazy habit of sticking to what it already knows. So if the ideas you come up with today feel familiar, comfortable, maybe a little bit obvious, that's a huge red flag. It means that old inertia is still calling the shots.
What you're really aiming for is this feeling, this sense that these ideas don't feel like they're mine. Seriously, when you apply one of these principles correctly, the idea it sparks can feel so foreign, so out of left field, that it almost feels like somebody else thought of it. That is the feeling. That's the sign that you've broken free from your usual mental ruts and you're in a genuinely new creative space.
Okay, so that feeling is our target. Let's get down to the task that's going to get you there. Time to put these principles to work.
Now, the process here is very structured, very disciplined. Here's what you're going to do. Step 1. Grab that contradiction you worked so hard on in day 6. Step 2. Look at the list of inventive principles and just pick any 3 that jump out at you. Don't overthink it. Step 3, for each of those 3 principles, your job is to generate 2 new ideas. That's it. You'll end up with 6 ideas. Step 4, super important. Label each idea with the principle you used to get there. And step 5, this is the golden rule, the most important part of this whole thing, do not evaluate. Your job today is 100% generation, 0% judgment. We'll get to judging later.
So what's the output here? You're going to walk away with 6 non-obvious idea directions. But honestly, that's not even the main point. The real win is that you'll have actively practiced breaking free from your fixation on the same old solutions. You'll start building real confidence that, yes, creativity can be a systematic, repeatable process. Okay, before you jump in, there's one last thing we need to cover about how we're going to work from here on out. For the rest of this course, everything we do, every tool we learn, you're going to apply it to one single project to keep things consistent. And you've got 2 paths to choose from. Option 1, you can take a real challenge from your own work, something you're dealing with right now, and apply everything directly to that. Option 2, if you'd rather just focus on the method, you can follow along with the detailed Hoover Dam case study that we've provided. Both options work great. It's just about what's best for you.
All right, you have your contradiction. You have the principles. You have the rules. Now it's time to go generate some ideas that feel like they came from somewhere else entirely. Let's begin.